It's the game of the weekend. The only game, well, not of the weekend. It's the game of Friday that everyone's excited for. Michigan and Long Beach State. Doug McDaniel, is he going to score 30 points? Is he going to score 12 points? Is he going to get a triple-double? Like, this is what everybody in college basketball is wondering, Cart. I know you're excited, right?
So we're doing this, huh?
We're not actually doing this. I'm sorry. You just opened the actual game. The actual game that everybody's excited for is Maryland and Villanova, except the only people who I think aren't excited for this game are Maryland and Villanova fans because their teams looked horrible the last game that they played. Maryland extended time now. Last weekend, they had the whatever event they were at. They lost to Davidson. They lost to UAB back-to-back. There's some real issues with this team. We talked about it already on the channel earlier in the week. If you want to see the full video, you can certainly go find it. Just search Sleepers Maryland, and it'll be one of the first things that pops up. But we have not talked about Villanova too much. We did do one quick recap on them against Penn. We haven't talked about like big picture Villanova. Now we get to look forward with Villanova for the first time on this channel. Is Villanova going to bounce back? They're back home. Their loss came at Penn, which say what you want. Tough game on the road against Penn.
At the Palestra. Is that their home court?
Palestra.
Sorry, TJ. Damn it.
Back home for Villanova, where they've been phenomenal. They won by 27 points in the opener and 26 points against Lemoyne in game 2. Ken Pom has Villanova by 5 in this spot. Who do you like here?
You know, I very much want to. I mean, you know how I feel about Villanova and what I think about their outlook as a team. I'm a little more down on them as a whole than maybe some other people in the country. But at the same time, I have a hard time not seeing them win this game and actually covering at home just because I think it just kind of aligns for them to have a bounce back win. You're playing a Maryland team. When you see this game on paper, you're like, oh, that's kind of a big game. They're playing Maryland. But when you really dive into it, they're playing a Maryland team that looks to have a lot of issues right now. They're going to be able to play them at home, which I think is going to be massive for them. So I just think the stars are aligning for Villanova to bounce back in this game. But it could also be a moment where you're like, oh, this Villanova team really isn't what we thought they were if they let Maryland come into their home and win this game.
You've gone soft.
Why?
You've spent all summer, all preseason, all 2 weeks of this season talking about how much you've been right that Villanova is overrated. This isn't going to work. Kyle Neptune's a fraud. This team has no pulse. Mm-hmm. And now a Big Ten team that you and I both picked preseason to finish in the top 4 that has a bunch of players you actually like, that you're on record talking about over and over and over again about how you believe in them, is going into their trap and you're predicting a Villanova win.
I'm trying to be like semi-objective. I feel like people think I just like let my thoughts cloud things too much.
Well, I'm surprised what swung. You must really be selling Maryland if that's where you are, because I know you're not buying Villanova.
No, I'm not buying Villanova, but I'm seriously concerned about selling Maryland. I actually went back and watched the games, the last game against UAB. I'm seriously concerned about Deshaun Harris because I didn't actually get to watch that game in full just because I was doing something else. So I had to go back and watch it. And when you told me that he cannot go right, he really can't go right. And that scares me. And he's playing against a Villanova guys that are old and probably read scouting reports, and they're going to make him go right. And Jameer Young just hasn't been what we thought. And Dante Scott hasn't been what we thought. Or Dante Scott has been what we thought. And that's the issue. Like, I'm very scared about this about this Maryland team. And then on top of that, you know, we had this whole stock we were buying in Maryland, and some of that kind of hinged on the fact that Jamie Kaiser was going to make an impact. And up until this point, he has made absolutely zero to this basketball team.
Yeah, I feel bad. I feel misled a little bit on Kaiser. We really like his game. I still believe in him long term, but like all the offseason rumblings were like Kaiser's a huge part of this team. And sadly, the thing with Kaiser for me, Cart, is he's had chances. Like we look around the Big Ten at the other freshmen across the conference, and a lot of them haven't had chances. Kaiser's been on the floor. He's played 11 minutes or more in all 3 games. He played 22 minutes against UAB. He's not making shots. He has 2 made threes on the season, but he's only 2 for 9, and he doesn't really do anything outside of attempting threes right now. Like no assists, 1 turnover, no defensive stats really. He's not rebound. Like he's just kind of out there to shoot, and right now he's not making shots. So yeah, so much of this just comes down to like, are we ever going to get Young and Harris Smith both on their A game at the same time? And right now we haven't seen that. Harris Smith is 1 for 9 from 3 on the season. Like he just wants to get downhill and he only wants to go left. Jameer Young is 11 for 26 from 2-point range this season and still only shooting 30% from 3. Like he didn't take the efficiency jump that a lot of people were hoping would come when he has some backcourt help. So look, it's small sample size. We shouldn't be rattling off numbers as if this is who these guys are. One hot shooting game and the numbers look totally different. I still believe that backcourt is talented enough that there's going to be a night like that where it comes. I do think it could be in this game. I truly do. However, there's one stat that points me toward thinking Villanova survives here. Villanova does not turn the basketball over. They're 14th in the country at avoiding turnovers on their own. Maryland turns it over all the time right now, 297th in turnover percentage. So to me, if you're going on the road to Villanova in what is a packed environment, it's going to be a tough place to play, especially for a program that now feels a little desperate, right? They're not like reading the newspaper headlines like, oh, this team's good. This is more of like we got to win this game. Otherwise, like we have problems with Kyle Neptune. I think the fans are going to be nuts trying to help their team get a win. And Maryland's going to turn the ball over like 7 to 10 more times more than Villanova will in this game. I don't know how you win a game on the road if that happens.
Also, spin zone on that though. Villanova has all this pressure. They probably have more pressure than Maryland in this spot, don't they? At home. Like if things are rocky to start, they get to the first media timeout and they're down 1. Like are these guys buckling under the pressure? Like they start to hear some murmurs from the crowd, there's some sighs, some moans, some groans. Like
I think there's pressure on both, though. That's what I would say is because I think Maryland dudes are hearing it right now. Like, no, they're not expected to win this game, but they also can't come into this game with like a we have nothing to lose mentality because like Julian Reese and Dante Scott have been here for forever. And just like this, you're going to tell me this team didn't take a leap and those guys came back for this? Like we know Maryland fans are loud and they get upset. Like that's a passionate fan base. And you need to see growth from year 1 to year 2 from Kevin Willard. Starting the season 1-3 would be an absolute disaster for that fan base.
So Maryland money line?
I'm staying away. If I was forced to bet it, I would bet Villanova to cover, but I'm staying away.
Greg, I call you like one of my closest friends, correct?
Of course.
You hit Missouri money line not 30 minutes ago. If you for 1 second think not a portion of that will be factored into Maryland money line, then maybe I don't know you.
Expect a text around 2:45 in the morning. My friend, we'll talk.
Skippy.
We'll talk. All right. Good luck to both sides in this game. But if I'm being honest, good luck just to Maryland because we need one for the conference, man.
We do. Come on, help us out.
Please
help us out, guys. Come on.
And Kyle Neptune, I hope you wear your very best turtleneck for this game. Good luck.
Good Lord.